today we're going to be talking about what I see as the best passive income models or businesses to get into for the year of 2017. So the way I see it is there's a lot of great ways to make passive income out there. There's been a lot of ways that have been around for a long time, but there's also some ways that maybe used to work a number of years ago, but I don't really think they would work well anymore. So I wanted to basically outline for you guys that if I was trying to start a passive income business or a passive income model for the year 2017, here's the 4 businesses or the 4 areas I would be involved with. I just want to mention too, before I get too far in the video, I am a little under the weather today, not feeling too great. I wanted to shoot the video anyway, so if my energy level's not exactly there, or if I kind of sound a little, I don't know, if I sound kind of congested, that's what's going on with that. But I still wanted to make sure to get this video done, so that's what we're doing today. I hope you don't mind. The first thing I'd recommend, and I would say for people who are, so let's say if you're younger, because these number 3 and number 4, you kind of have to be old enough to own property anyway, have a little bit of money that you have, because obviously you have property, you've probably saved up money in order to own that property. But number 1 and number 2, you can do either for free or very inexpensively, because you can do a lot of the work yourself. But number 1 would be to write a niche specific blog. No, this is not a blog where you write opinionated posts about things that you see on the internet. This is the way blogs used to be. This is like the old days of blogs where you went on and you wrote based on opinion. I'm not saying that you can't have a successful blog based off of opinion. I'm just saying it's a hell of a lot harder than it used to be a number of years ago. So if you really want a blog that's going to make you a good amount of money, I would write a very niche specific blog, because this is basically a way that positions you as an authority on this topic. And the thing with this, guys, you need to be an authority. You need to be a trusted person in order to sell to people, because people are very skeptical now, because everyone's gone through an experience where they've been lied to for the most part. So they're very skeptical, especially online, because there's a lot of scammers out there, and the one thing that they hate to do is waste their time or waste their money. So in order for you to sell a product to somebody or sell a resource or whatever it is, they really need to trust you, and they really need to believe that you know what you're talking about. So the first thing that I'd recommend to make sure you know what you're talking about, write about something you already know about and something you already care about. Even if it's not as big of a topic as something else, maybe there's something that's a bigger potential, but you have no idea, you don't know the first thing about it. It's going to be hard, because you're going to have to educate yourself while you're teaching others about it. So it's going to take you twice as long to do it. And if you're not interested in the topic, you're not going to want to do it. You're going to give up halfway. Trust me, guys. I've talked to a lot of people who have tried this. That was the biggest thing that they would do. They would pick some topic because it seemed like it was a hot topic. They weren't interested in it themselves, and they ended up giving up because they didn't want to do it. So basically the other thing too, people think that they have a niche. When you think you have a niche, go about 5 layers deeper. So the example I gave of this is if you were going to write a blog about dog grooming, and you said, yeah, my niche is dog grooming, that is not in any way a niche. You got to go about 5 layers deeper. A niche blog example would be like the best grooming practices for teacup Yorkies. That's a niche. Dog grooming is not a niche, because you have large breeds, small breeds, medium breeds, toy breeds. You have many different layers until you get to a niche. So a lot of people think they found a niche. You got to go many layers deeper. But you got to think about this, guys. If somebody's looking to groom their teacup Yorkie, and they go to a blog about grooming your pet, they're not going to think that blog is for them because they have a teacup Yorkie. Yes, it is a pet. Yes, it is a dog, but they don't feel as connected to that blog because it's kind of vague. If they come across a great blog about grooming your teacup Yorkie, they're going to be like, oh my God, this was written for me. They're going to be more attached to that work. They're going to be more likely to read it, and they're going to be more likely to buy something that you are selling on that blog. So you really want to make sure you find a niche. You want to make sure that it is specific enough. So how do you monetize this? Well, you don't monetize it for a while, because you got to build it. You got to have a vast array of information. You got to have a lot of knowledge out there before you can monetize it, because People need to see you as a trusted resource. They need to see you as the authority on this. So if you start trying to sell right out of the gate, nobody's going to buy your stuff because they don't even know who you are. So you need to build up a base of knowledge. You need free resources because you need to give value first before anybody's willing to give you money back. You always want to give value first. So you want to just give people as much information as possible about the topic for free. And then you offer something for, basically you pay money at that point for some extra goodie. So a couple of examples of that. If you do have ads on the site, you're not going to make a ton of money. Unless you have a very, very high traffic site, then you might be able to make enough money to see some coming in. But that's not the best way to do it. You can do a combination of things. You could do ads and a product. But I think the best way to do it is to have a paid resource. So maybe you write an ebook that has like all the best information or something like that. Or even better, if you can sell your own product, that would be great too. So let's say you are doing that example of you're doing grooming for teacup Yorkies and you have a shampoo that's like, this is the best shampoo for toy breeds, especially this teacup Yorkie. And then you somehow were able to make that shampoo or have somebody make it for you, put your own site's label on there. That would be, I think, the best way to monetize a niche-specific blog is with a physical product. Number two, I would say, would be a resource. Okay, so that's where you wrote your own resource that you're selling. It's like an expanded version of maybe what your website has to offer. You can do ads as well. Ads tend to annoy people though, so just be careful with your placement of the ads. And you can also do affiliate sales. So if there's a product that would relate really well to your audience, you could do affiliate sales of that product or that resource. So I would just make sure that affiliate is something you've actually, if it's a resource, make sure it's something you've read yourself because you don't want to sell somebody something that ends up being garbage because that looks really bad for you. So you want to make sure it's something that actually would be useful to your audience, not just something to fatten your pockets, basically. But like I said, guys, that's something you can do starting at 15, 16 years old. If you want to start getting something started, if you do it for a couple of years, you build up a huge audience. I mean, you could make a ton of money with a niche-specific blog. There was a book I really like. It's called Click Millionaires, if you guys are looking for some inspiration on this. I don't remember who the author is, but I got it off of Amazon. But he goes through all these examples of people who made these niche-specific blogs, and one of them was like it was all about raising chickens in your backyard, and these people made this blog as a hobby, and they ended up making millions of dollars when somebody bought it off them. And they were just doing it because they wanted to share their experience. They ended up making millions of dollars. So you can make a lot of money with a niche-specific blog. Okay, let's move on to the second one here. So writing an ebook. This kind of ties in with your blog, and you can do both of these if you do that blog. What you want to do, and a lot of the same things apply to this too. You want to share your expertise about something you already know a lot about, and something you already care a lot about. You can't just fake it because people are going to see right through you. And then you can either, well, just a couple examples here. You could write a manual, a how-to guide, a beginner's guide. You could also write fiction. If you're a writer yourself, you could write fan fiction. You could do all kinds of different stuff. Then what you can do, there's two options here. So you can either sell the ebook directly. Maybe you have the blog too and you're selling it as a resource on your blog, or you go on Amazon, you sell it to Amazon Kindle. There's a lot of places where you can sell your ebooks. But then you could also leverage the ebook to make more money down the road. So one of the most common ways I see people do this is through lead generation. So let's say you have a coaching service and you write an ebook on like the top 5 ways to increase, I'm just trying to think of something off the top of my head, increase the customers coming into your door or increase the customers coming to your business, okay? So you give that ebook away for free in exchange for somebody's email, but then you also have a business coaching service that you're going to be sending to their email regularly with email blasts. So that's a way you could use it to leverage the ebook and have future sales of your coaching services or whatever services you offer. And then you could also, if you wanted to, you could do affiliate sales, but basically have people sell the ebook for you. There's websites like ClickBank where you can go on there, and if anybody sells a copy of the ebook, they get an affiliate commission and you get the other part of the money. So just another option there of how to monetize this. And then like I said, guys, these other two options here are probably a little more difficult for a younger person because you have to be kind of established into these two things here. But number 3 is to get in on Airbnb. And Airbnb is huge, guys. It's a lot bigger than even I thought it was, just out of curiosity. I did a search in like my 5-mile radius, and there were over 150 people doing Airbnb just in my area, which is crazy because like I just heard of it not too long ago. But basically what you do is you rent out a spare room, or if you have vacation rentals, or if you are going away for an extended period of time during the summer or something, you can rent out your own home while you're away. And if you have local attractions in your area, which I do, which I'll tell you about, that's a big plus. So I actually live like 5-6 miles away from the Saratoga racetrack, and I don't know, I go there like once or twice a year. It's not my thing, but people come from all over the world to see the track. So if you have a local attraction, if you rent out a space in your home or a property around that time, you'll make a lot more money because there's a higher demand for those rooms in that area. And then I put this here too, rent out a treehouse. Maybe that sounds like a joke, but another book I read, it talked about how these people in Vermont basically built these tree houses in their backyards. And they rent out these tree houses. And there were some of these people with tree houses in their yards that have a 6-month waiting list for people to get in there. And these people have actually paid off the mortgages on their own home, renting out a tree house in their backyard. That's pretty crazy. And then the fourth one kind of ties into this, guys. This is like the most tried and tested passive income model, is rental income. So build a portfolio of rental properties, you know. Yeah, this takes a lot of money. Yeah, it's difficult to get started with this, but this is the best way, and you're going to make the most money doing this. And this has the biggest potential, I think, to become passive. Once you bring out a management company to manage all of your properties, collect rent for you, take care of renting out your apartments, it's pretty much passive at that point. You just get your check once a month. This is probably the most difficult one to set up because it takes a lot of money and a lot of, at first it's not passive at all because you're going to be collecting rent yourself, you're going to be renting it out to people, you're going to be making repairs or making the phone calls to make those repairs. So it is going to be a headache at first, but it has the potential to become completely passive. And the last thing I wanted to say, guys, I know passive income seems like a very sexy type of income because people are like, oh, like I know the thumbnail, maybe that's a little clickbaity, but it's a it's a picture of people at the beach. That's what people think of when they see passive income. They think of, oh, I can make a couple $100 sitting at the beach, or I made $1,000 today sitting under an umbrella at the beach. Most of these income models here, especially these ones listed here, they are nothing but passive at first. In fact, they're going to be taking a lot of your time. They're going to take hours a day to build a niche specific blog or to write an ebook and market it successfully, or to save up the money to buy real estate, or to save up the money to buy a place to rent out on Airbnb. They do have the potential to become passive, but there's a lot of work at the start of it. And if anybody's trying to tell you that there's a passive income model out there that doesn't take any work at first, they're probably lying to you. If you do come across one, make sure you let me know because I've yet to find one. And I think it's because most of these things, and I'm going to say all of these things, require a lot of work at first. But that's pretty much, guys, the 4 areas I would look into if you were looking to build passive income in 2017. So thank you guys for watching the video. If you guys have any questions or if you have any video ideas yourself, please drop them in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, please drop a like and subscribe. And thank you guys for watching.